Okay, welcome back to the Hotshot build. We are up to step 33, assembling the roll cage. Now you can see I've already come in and cut out and mounted the window netting. Did that off camera because it was actually quite tedious to do. But that's in. So now we can use our 3B1 pieces and our 1A1 piece, which is just these plastic tubes, and a few screws, 3x12s. 3x12s, they're all 3x12s. So I'll do my usual trick. I'm going to grease up these holes for the screws. And we can just start this roll cage. So that actually screwed in quite easily, so this mightn't be as fiddly as it looks. So your B1s, which are your longer ones, they're the working from the front to the back. They are the first three that you put in. And the shorter tube, which is your A1, goes down on this bottom hole down here. And then it's just a matter of matching all of those tubes to the other side of the roll bar. You really want to be careful you don't over tighten these screws. They will strip out pretty easy. Okay, that is that step done. Looks it's a bit weird and funky when it's off the car, but once everything comes together, that's when it comes into its own. So we have our aluminium roof that can go on next. So you have these two folds. You have a long one and a short one. I'm pretty sure the long one goes to the front, and yes, that looks about right. Now these white zip ties, try to come in from underneath and then around the roll bar. I'm not going to do that up just yet. So by coming in from the underneath, the inside of the roll bar and the roof, you this is fiddly. Once it's all tightened up, you don't actually see the ratcheting portion, I guess you call it, of the zip tie. It just makes it a little bit neater. And one more. I mean, as you're going, it looks like a huge mess, but once you get it all in and tightened up, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing for myself. So once it's all in and you're happy that everything's straight, you can position the head of the zip tie up underneath the roof like that. Now I'll just do all the rest of these, and then you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so you will distort your netting a little bit, but you just come in and straighten all that out. So now you can see those zip ties are nice and neat. You don't see the ugly ratchets. They're all nice and neatly tucked away underneath the roof. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. It just makes it look a bit neater, that's all. So we can get our chassis back. You might notice I'm sniffling again. This flue just comes and goes, eh? It really is a pain. You think you've got a handle on it, and she just comes straight back again. Okay, so this R-clip, I'm just putting a little bit of a bend so that we can clip our inspection cover. And now we can attach our roll cage, which this sort of comes over like that. Now you can see these, you got a couple of little hooks here. That is what hooks onto your rear stabilizer bar. If you can indeed get in there to do it. You probably want to do that before you start putting screws in. And these two uprights of the roll bars just sit into those holes in there. We've got these two screw holes here for our 3x8s, so they can go straight in. And it's only telling us to put these side screws in for the time being, which are our 3x12s, so that will be that one and that one. The second one looks a bit awkward to get to because it's behind that sway bar, but we'll get it. There we go, straight in. So that's all it's telling us to do for step 34. Step 35, oh, we have to put that aside for a second, and we can build our faux heat sinks. So make sure you get these pieces the right way around. So you've got a little raised portion there, the heat sink, and a lovely bit of machined aluminium there. Heat sink comes from the other side of that portion there, and then we've just got this snap ring. They're calling it a C-ring, which just gets kind of spread over that aluminium piece eventually, and that just sits in there like that. And that used to be your heat sinks back in the day when you were running the mechanical speed controller. Of course there's two of them. That's one of the iconic looks of the Hotshot. You have this recess in the aluminium piece, which your C-clip eventually falls into if you can get your fingers in there. These you probably don't want to lose. And these are purely aesthetic. They don't do anything. Now this isn't as hard as I'm making it out to be. I'm just really struggling with my fingers today. Alright, so that's all sitting in there nicely. Now we can bring our chassis back. To screw these on, there's just a single 3x10 flange screw. And we have some locators. Yep, we do. So your parts here just locate into those slots of the rear of the chassis there. Might put the screw in first. Turn this up on the side. The chassis is getting a bit of size about it now, so it's getting a bit awkward. Really do need a bigger bench and fingers that work. Like I said, I am making this look way harder than it needs to be. If I wasn't doing any of this on camera, this would be so much easier. But that wouldn't make for a very interesting video, would it? So we have to plod along and make do with what we got, I suppose. So that's our heat sinks on. We can put our other two 3x12s into our roll bar. And of course the magnet of the motor just wants to keep grabbing it. We've got this hidden hole again. So now that that sway bar is clipped into the chassis rails there, or the roll bars, it'll actually stay put and kind of do its job. So this last little bit down here, this C5 piece, this gets screwed onto the battery retainer there, which gives us a place to tie our motor wires back, which is very handy. So I'm going to grab another black zip tie and just bring that around like that. And we are getting very close. We've got these couple of, we've got to go upside down again, couple of bits of foam tape that gets stuck on the front of the gearbox here. just to protect the battery when it goes in. And I always struggle peeling back this foam tape. There we go. Actually make it wider than what it needs to be. So that one's actually sticking to the motor a little bit. That'll be alright. Now our actual battery cover. We got some foam strips to cut. So I'm just going to cut them to length first. And just strip them straight down the centre. Just going to go by eye. You can take the time and measure it out, mark it out, and do everything properly, I guess. So I think this part is symmetrical. Same both ways is what symmetrical means. So it shouldn't matter what side these foam strips go on. This is usually Zach's job, but he's busy doing something else. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. Oh, that's a struggle for me, eh? Don't go back down. Right, here we go. Just line them up, stick them on. Oh, it's a bit easier. Just a bit of extra protection for your battery once it goes in. And then this just gets screwed down to that plastic piece that we installed in the gearbox right way back in the start. And that acts as the hinge for your battery tray, which is very cool. All we've got left to do with these two 3x12 screws, you'll have to compress the control arm to get the screwdriver in. And that is the end of step 37, and basically the end of the chassis build, because all we've got to do is put the wheels on. Awesome. Now Zach has already assembled the wheels for me. These beauties. Now when this car is finished and we go to do the glamour shots and stuff like that, I am going to use the gold wheels of the Super Hotshot for the photos. So this stand here is, they call it a maintenance stand. So that slides into these two holes down the bottom. You open your battery tray. Voila! You can set your car up off the deck, and that'll let you put your wheels on. So we need our drive pins. Now do make sure you get the wheel with the right direction. This bench is a bloody mess. Now it's starting to look like Hotshot. It's that iconic look. Like I said, we are going to run this car, so you will get a running video, and it'll actually be running with the boomerang, hopefully around the track if we can get it sorted out. But you won't see that for a little while yet, because we still have to paint the body, which shouldn't take too much. Fairly simple body, this one. I'm going to take this stand out, close that. You have to note the direction of these body post pins. So the hole in those pins really should be going this way, so that you can get your R-clips in. So let's have a closer look at this hub. So I'm guessing maybe the inner bearing isn't all the way seated, and that's not going to work. So if I can get the hex driver in there, there we go. So it just wasn't, I'd say that bearing just wasn't seated correctly. You might want to put a hub on first. And I really do need to give my back a rest after this one. So that is our completed Hotshot chassis. yes, all we need to do is paint the body. But there you go, we're all done. So that is quite bouncy, isn't it? So let's just adjust these springs a bit. Might go a bit more on the front. I guess it'll have to do. So I'm going to just put some of this stuff away. So all we've got left out of this tray is a bit of silver tape. Now where does that go? I don't actually know, but I use the silver tape to back up the body post holes so that the paint doesn't get scratched on the inside. Now the only other thing we have are the iconic metal aerials. Now we only got one in this kit, but I did have a spare, so I think we're going to run with both aerials. So there you have it, that's the Hotshot chassis, done, complete, finished. Next video you're going to see the body painted up and maybe getting a bit of a run around. So, let us know what you think. Thanks for watching, thanks for your support. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.